Hello everyone, it's been a while and I'm a little late, but I'm back with another quick review of Rick and Morty. Today I'm talking about the long-awaited Season 8 opener, Summer of All Fears. There will be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, watch it first before watching me. Or don't. You've been warned. In this episode, we find Morty and Summer have been confined to a Roy-like or Matrix-like prison of the mind by Rick, which was a punishment because Summer took Roy's phone charger without permission. Rick has fallen asleep in the real world, and thus their punishment within the Matrix takes 17 years from their perspective. Inside the simulation, the world is entirely centered around phone chargers and the maxim that you shouldn't steal other people's chargers. Morty has grown up to become a burned-out veteran suffering from PTSD and living off the grid, and Summer has become a tech billionaire using her knowledge to create a system to wirelessly charge all phones in the world, thus rendering chargers useless, breaking the Matrix, and freeing them back into the real world. Rick intends to wipe their minds, but Summer begs Beth to intervene, citing the full life she lived and her experiences as something she wants to hold on to. Morty wants to keep his memories as well, and Beth forces Rick to leave them as is, which he agrees to while warning Beth that it's not going to work out. Summer finds she's unable to reacclimate to high school life, but quickly bonds with Beth as they're now similar in mental age. Beth initially enjoys Summer's self-confidence, but quickly becomes dominated and put off by Summer's overbearing personality. Rick finds he likes the new Morty, especially as Morty starts using the skills he learned in the Matrix to improve Rick's death race car. Rick starts bonding with him, but fails to notice that Morty has also brought his adult PTSD with him back from the Matrix. Eventually, Beth decides that she's had enough of Summer and tries to mind blow her, but Summer escapes. While Rick is distracted by Beth and Summer's antics, Morty incapacitates him and imprisons him in the Matrix, stealing the death race car with the intent of destroying a massive power plant. Summer stops Morty at the last minute and reveals that she was the cause of his PTSD in the Matrix, having manipulated him to achieve her goals without regards to his sanity. Rick awakens to find himself in a Matrix prison set to punish him for putting people in matrices. He escapes by putting everyone in a Matrix, one that looks exactly like the 1999 movie. Comments by the scientists at the plant lead Summer and Morty to believe that they're in yet another Matrix, making them both decide to beat up a scientist until Rick intervenes and reveals that they aren't in a Matrix. The damage done to the plant initiates a meltdown and Rick is forced to save the day. Ready to return to their teenage lives, Morty and Summer submit to being mind-blown. Morty is distraught to find he now has a tattoo, and Summer finds a message from her older self on her phone attempting to give her advice, but gets bored with the wordiness of it all and stops listening. Despite being a bottle episode, I'd have to say it's a very good one, much better than Season 7's opener. The jokes were clever and came fast. I laughed out loud at the character name of Osama bin Chargin. There's lots of opportunities to rewatch and pause and enjoy the little details the animators added to the Matrix. The fake-out twist of Morty and Summer being in yet another Matrix fooled me because it was exactly the sort of recursiveness that one has come to expect from Rick and Morty, so it was a nice subversion of their own trope. Noticeably absent in this episode was Jerry. I'd like to add that the plot of this episode reminds me of The Sentence, the 22nd episode of Season 2 of The Outer Limits, starring David Hyde Pierce, where a scientist who invents a virtual prison machine to reform criminals ends up accidentally trapped inside it and forced to live out a life sentence. All in all, this was a solid, rewatchable episode, and I'm looking forward to more from Season 8. So that's my recap and review. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. A huge shout out to my almost 2,700 subscribers, which has increased 5-fold since my Season 7 finale review. I also posted a short a few months ago that has received almost 2 million views. What? Thank you so much for being here and your support. If you're a fan of good science fiction, I'll give you my usual pitch to check out my debut novel, Holocene, and if you'd like making art and animations, please join my free animation community, Drawn. I'm hoping in the next few months to start being able to produce YouTube videos on a regular basis again, so please stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.